Welcome back. Today, we're diving straight into a notoriously high-error calculation on the 6th edition exam Scored-Interval Interobserver Agreement, or IOA. Our goal for this explainer? To give you absolute precision so you can tackle this math with total, undeniable confidence.
Okay, let's dive into this. Test makers absolutely love, and I mean literally love, giving you data logs for low-rate behaviors. Why? Well, they're basically checking to see if you're going to fall into a really deceptive snare that we call the inflation trap. It looks straightforward on the surface, but man, it is incredibly easy to get entirely the wrong answer if you aren't prepared for it. Section 1. The inflation trap, low-rate behaviors. Let's unpack exactly how this trap works and why low-rate behaviors create such a massive problem for us.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is, imagine you're tracking a low-rate behavior. Let's say severe self-injury that only happens, maybe twice in a whole session. Take a look at this 10-block interval timeline. Do you notice all those double minuses? Those are empty intervals where neither observer 1 nor observer 2 saw a single thing. And here's the kicker. If you use standard interval agreement methods, all of those empty double minus intervals are going to completely overwrite your math.
And when that math gets overwritten by those empty intervals, look what happens on the left side. You get this dangerous fake 90% score. I mean, it looks like great agreement, right? But it's a total illusion. Over on the right, we have Scored-Interval IOA. This right here is your ultimate solution to shatter that illusion of agreement and find out the true, actual reliability of your data.
Moving to Section 2, filtering the data, rescuing your data. We are going to act as a filtration system to save our numbers from these deceptive little artifacts.
Scored-Interval IOA stops the inflation trap dead in its tracks, provided you follow these exact steps. And step 1 is absolutely crucial. You have to aggressively cross out and exclude every single interval where neither observer recorded an occurrence. Just delete those double minuses, get them out of there. Step 2, you isolate the remaining active intervals. And finally, step 3, you just count your agreements.
Which brings us to Section 3, the calculation breakdown, doing the math. Time to see how this aggressive filtration completely changes our final result. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens after we filter the data. By crossing out those empty blocks, we're left with exactly 3 active intervals. Intervals 3, 6, and 8. Next, we just count how many times both observers agreed and marked a plus. If you look closely at the grid, they only completely agreed in interval 8, just that one single interval.
So let's do the final math. Divide your one agreement by your total 3 active opportunities, 1 over 3. Look at that massive drop. Your true reliability score plummets to a highly realistic 33.3%. That big, impressive 90% we saw earlier literally completely evaporated. Poof, gone.
Section 4. The exam rule, survive under pressure. Let's move to and see how this builds into a practical, hard and fast rule you can rely on to survive the exam when you're under pressure.
All right, here's your golden exam rule of thumb. Whenever a behavior is low rate, you default to Scored-Interval IOA to expose observer drift, period. But if the behavior is extremely high rate, you do the exact opposite. Use unscored-interval IOA. You definitely want to lock this contrast into your memory for test day.
Now that you know exactly how to defeat the inflation trap, it's time to put it into practice. Head over to your BXM student portal, log into today's item repositories, and actually test your skills with these exact filtration steps under a simulated exam countdown. You've got to get that hands-on repetition to make it stick.
As you continue your studies today, I want to leave you with this final, critical thought to ponder. When you're out there in the real world, collecting and analyzing logs, will your data reflect reality or just the illusion of agreement? Stay sharp, trust the math, and keep filtering for the truth. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.